why was your main man, Rick Grimes, smiling at the end of this episode? Is he crazy now? Has he gone off his rocker? Has he been out in the sun too long?
No, he is not crazy. Dude found some people, and these people look like they're ready to fight. Although are they not kind of a weird-looking group to you?
To be honest, they remind me of there was the Batman comic book series. It was from oh my God, what is his name? It's Miller. Miller is his last name.
Mr. Miller.
Mr. Miller, yeah.
Okay.
Frank Miller. Frank Miller. Same guy that did Sin City and everything. So there's a Frank Miller series of comic books. They just made it into an animated series. It's like The Dark Knight Returns, or something like that. I can't remember. And in it, it's like set in the 80s. And, you remember like the Ninja Turtle cartoons and how 80s everybody was. They had like the weird ass haircuts and it was you had that like visual representation of what everybody that was like out in the sticks thought New York was.
The Max Headroom.
Exactly. And everybody's like really grungy, and I don't know. That's what these people reminded me of. The main chick totally reminds me of like a Tilda Swinton type or something. That's the vibe that I immediately got from the main chick that says, "We own your lives. You want to buy them back." I
got a very Resident Evil,
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, not as hot. In this particular incident,
that hairstyle was not doing it for me. No, it was not doing it.
But they all had the same weird. Mostly, it seemed like everybody had their hair pulled back, real slicked, and where they ended up looking like they had a super big forehead. And I'm not trying to be.
I think you called it 5 heads in our live watch.
Yes, but I learned that from you.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I did. I learned that from you because you had said something about it off camera.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, there was a 5 head. You're right. It was a 5 head.
I mean, some of the girls out there that I've been attracted to in life have 5 heads too.
5 heads.
So it's okay. Hey, if you're out there, you got a 5 head.
Exactly.
It's quite all right. I mean, I might have a 5 head. I don't know. Do I have a 5 head? I can't tell.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about mine. I'm just saying everyone was showing. I don't know. It was just odd. I felt like everybody had a similar look.
Hashtag moms don't like 5 heads.
Oh God, it's
sorry guys out there. All those comments that we get in the YouTube comments are like, damn MILF. Ooh man, sexy MILF.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You can't see my Rick, either of the cardboard cutouts, but he definitely has a 5 head, if not a 6 head in one of them. I mean, it's just like.
Yeah, so. Rick's got a lot of forehead going on up top there. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
and especially
obviously
when it gets hot and he gets sweaty and he slicks it all back and everything. Yeah, so, he definitely does.
I have no issue with it. I have no issue.
Okay. No, I agree with you, though, that they did have a certain look about every one of them. They looked all very similar, too. It was like they had, like, carbon copies of the same person. Now, I did notice there was one extremely tall black dude and one extremely tall white dude that were coming out, and I mean I was like, okay, is this Manute Bol and Sean Bradley coming out of this little tunnel here? Because these dudes were tall as shit. I thought they were gonna hit their head on their way out as they were coming out of that container. Because not only that, but holy crap, coolest fort base, whatever you want to call it, of all time. In this junkyard, it was so awesome because they've got this container that they're just all single filing out of, basically, and I loved it. I loved everything about it, and they come into this circle, which looked like a place where they're about to fight, right?
Yes, it did. I mean, it looked like a pit. I mean, they're going to throw Rick out there with somebody else, and they're going to have to fight it, out to see if they'll join in. I don't know, but there was so many of them. So I can see why why that would be the reason for his smile.
Yeah.
The smile still was a little odd.
Yes.
The reason I kind of felt like that Michonne had said to him earlier, it's okay, you can smile.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think she meant, at a time when we were having a win, not when a group of people all suddenly come around us and look like they're going to beat our ass. So, but
well, like I said,
it was an odd smile, but he's got a plan.
Yeah, I mean, the Rictatorship, whenever he's in Rictatorship mode, he does some crazy shit.
Yes, he does. He's a little crazy. So
yeah, he goes crazy and tries to shoot a whole town when he doesn't need to, and then he smiles when he has a whole group of people look like they're trying to kill him. Yeah, Robin said, as for Rick smiling, I think it is because he sees a bunch of potential allies in his war against Negan. Yeah, I'm on board with you guys. I think we talked about that in our review as well. That yeah, he sees this group. He sees that they got the jump on him really quick. I mean, it was like they snuck out of nowhere, and all of a sudden everybody's surrounded. They look mean as hell, and I don't know if he sees, because I keep wondering if he sees somebody out in the crowd, a la Father Gabriel, and that's who he's smiling at. I don't know, because I wonder, because right now, yes, all we have to go on is just, Rick's thought process of I need an army, I need somebody to say yes to me. This door's closed, this door's closed. Maybe this is a possibility, and another door is open for me right here. But also, maybe he saw somebody.
Well, when you say that, it just makes me laugh. The idea, you've got all these people that, they're coming out with their weapons, and then Father Gabriel comes out with his sweater that he's got on, and he's just
in my sweater vest.
Yeah, here I am.
Yeah.
I am the leader of these, lost children.
Yeah,
so,
the Lost Boys, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about them.
Yeah, they definitely had a very Peter Pan and the Lost Boys vibe. I'm anxious to see what this group brings to the table, because this is something that's not in the comic book at all. So
thank God.
No,
I am so ready for that.
Yeah, I am too. I love getting new material on the show. Hopefully it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's really great, though. And I'm hoping that this is one of those instances where it's something new, where, if you're a comic book fan, you're going to be just completely surprised. It's going to be great. You're not going to be, always constantly looking forward to that one moment that is coming from the comic book and seeing how it translates to the screen. So, yeah, I'm very excited about this. Plus, I think you're right. I feel like that they're going to make Rick fight for either acceptance or fight to... because she does say want to buy them back, because she says that we own your lives now. So I definitely think they're going to make Rick fight, and I think they're going to make him fight that big-ass, badass, armored walker.
That thing, I mean, how is he going to fight that? It's going to be epic if he does.
It's going to be so good.
That is the most amazing walker. That thing is just terrifying.
Yeah, it looks so badass. I mean, the fact that it's got the helmet, it's got like bodyguard armor, and it's got the spikes and everything. Yeah, I want to see this thing in action, and I ultimately hope that is what happens with this new group, is that Rick has to prove his worth and fight this thing off. I don't think he's going to have much of a weapon to fight this thing off. Maybe they give him like a crowbar, or some kind of like lead pipe, or maybe it's just like a knife or something.
Ping! That's it, hitting the side of it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean we've seen that already with Abe and Eugene,
right?
And that one was like a mini-me version of this badass thing. So I'm very, very excited about that. So. And
I also want to know how was this thing created? Was it? Was it one of their warriors to begin with? Because how do you suit a walker up like that?
I I have no clue how you would have suited that thing up. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it was somebody that. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we need a backstory on that.
Yeah.
I need a flashback episode of that Walker's like previous life.
Yep.
So, Mr. Midnight said this about the new group. Do you think any of these new kids are children of the Oceanside community who escaped and couldn't find their old home? Because Oceanside, as we know, went into hiding amongst the trees. If so, I think our group links them back together with the bracelet Cindy gave Tara. One of them might recognize the bracelet style, or it might have a symbol of Oceanside on it. So, what do you think about this? Do you think that could have any links back to the Oceanside community? Because I do think that would be very cool, and I really want Oceanside to be tied back into the broader group's perspective on the show, because I think that they had a really interesting place, and the fact that they were all women, I think that was really cool.
It was very cool. I don't know that the Oceanside could ever play like a huge part at this point, but if it made it where it was the bracelet that made it where this huge group was accepting, because they're like, oh my God, they see it on Tara, because of course Tara's gonna, she's always gonna be the peacemaker. She'd be out there, we don't have to do this, and there's the bracelet. And so I think that could be a really cool tie-in and make it where that story meant something. So yeah, I'm on board with that theory.
I am too. I think it's an interesting theory, and I think you're right too that Oceanside probably not going to play a huge role, but I think Cindy could play a very big role on the show, and I would be very excited to see her, come into the group. I think she would be a nice, interesting character to add to the group. And you're right, yeah, Tara definitely the peacemaker, and I could see she like flashes the bracelet, not on purpose, but as she's like, no, don't do this, blah blah blah, or something. Because I think that would be a cool way to spur Oceanside into action. Is the fact that some of these people might, obviously be related to those people, or know some of the Oceanside community, and I think it would be a cool thing. I'm excited. I'm really excited to just find out what the hell's going on with this new group, what role they're going to play. The fact that we have a whole lot of communities sometimes worries me. And there was a whole crap ton of these people in the Junkyard Gang. So how are we going to get any time with them with such a large ensemble cast? But that being said, I am excited about it. A little bit worried, how they're going to, sprinkle everybody all around.
Right.
But overall, I'm very excited about the new group and seeing Rick Grimes fight that badass Walker. That's gonna be the shit.
That will be the shit, and it'll be nice because they've got all those characters that we don't know their name, and if they go to battle with Negan, it won't hurt me as bad if they're killed.
Yeah, that's the first thing I was thinking. I was like, well, that means they can have lots of deaths. And for you need Negan to kill a lot of people for your Zompocalypse Fantasy 5 team.